Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Indian School of Physics. This is Nitin here, and today I have come up with another very interesting problem. And as you can see, the name of this problem is electrostatic stress. And this is the diagram of the problem which we are going to solve today. It's a original problem. Yesterday itself I have framed it, and let's discuss the statement of this particular problem. I hope you'll enjoy the way we are going to solve it. So as you can see here, a system of two concentric uniformly charged conducting shells having charges of Q1 and Q2 are shown in the figure. The shells are having a radius of R1 and R2 respectively. The thickness of outer shell is T, and we can assume that the thickness is negligible compared to the other dimensions of the charge system, so that the shell can be treated as a thin shell. What will be the electrostatic stress developed in the outer charged conducting shell? Okay. So here you can see there is a concentric shells having charges, and their radius is given, and outer shell thickness is also given, and they are asking about the stress. So how the idea of stress will develop? You can see charges will be repelling each other. So this outer shell, it will be repelled by, if you take any charge on this, it will be repelled by due to its own charge remaining, and due to the charge present on the inner shell. Okay, this is the idea. Let's discuss the concept part. So in order to solve this problem, we need to know the result of this part, where a uniform conducting shell is given, and if we make a small opening, then here this field just outside at this point and just inside at this point, it becomes sigma by 2 epsilon naught, or I can write it as kq by 2 r square. When it is closed, just outside field is sigma by epsilon naught, and inside it is 0. So you must remember these results, and I think it's a very elementary result. Most of the people will remember it. Or you can just use a Gaussian surface here, and you can comment that field here and here must be same, and overall field is sigma by epsilon naught for complete part. So you can obtain this result that this field is sigma by 2 epsilon naught when a small opening is made into this shell. Okay, so let's move. So here you can see I have taken a very small element of area dA. It's part of this sphere, and this is going to have a charge of sigma 2 times dA, where dA is this area which is subtending a very small angle at the center. Now here this small element which is having charge of dq, it is going to experience force from inner shell as well as this outer shell, and this force is going to take this charge in outward direction, but in actual situation when it is completed, it is in equilibrium. Therefore the material of the shell must be generating some kind of force which is acting actually inward, so that this entire system can be balanced, or this individual dq charges can be in equilibrium. So at this point you can see this field created by outer one is kq2 by 2r2 square. I'm calling it as E2, and field created by inner one at this point, it will be kq1 by r2 square. These are pretty standard results. So this force which is acting on this element, this is going to be dq times E1 plus E2. This is going to be dq times E1 plus E2. So if I substitute the value of dq, which is sigma q2 by 4 pi r2 square dA times E1 plus E2. Now here we are going to use a trick, or you can say in order to make it much easier, I am going to try to write this force in vector form. So that Tf electric vector, I can write it as its magnitude is q by 4 pi r2 square E1 plus E2, and its direction is parallel to the area vector of this element. It is parallel to the area vector of this element. So I'm writing it as dA vector. It is dA times unit vector in that direction, so I can write it as dA vector. Now this is going to help us a lot. The correct actual method would have been taking this small area, and on this force will be acting in this manner, which will give a net component towards the center, and balancing takes place. But by using this, we reduce the calculations significantly in this particular problem. So you can see now here when I add all such forces in order to find out this force. So this F electric, okay, this will become integral dFe, and here you can see this expression I am substituting the value of E1 and E2 also, and it is going to become integral dA vector. Integral dA vector. So vector summation we have to take here, and now in order to simplify this problem, I am taking a hemisphere of outer shell. The reason I am taking it here because this integral dA vector is related to the projection area concept. So I am trying to use this projection area part here. So it's better if you take this hemisphere, and this idea comes from surface tension. In fact, I was solving a problem of surface tension when this idea flashed into my mind, and I framed this question. So here you can see, when I take this hemisphere, the force due to material on the shell is going to act along the side, or you can say along the material, and that force will be acting on this cross section, which is having radius of R2 and having a thickness of T. Now this is the force which is going to balance the overall electrostatic force which is acting in this direction. So this electrostatic force we are calculating. So here you can say this integral dA vector is going to come. Now this dA vector, actually at different point, it is the outward normal. It is the outward normal. So if you see here, when you take components of this area vector, here this is going to give us theta. So the forces which are in cos theta direction will be added together, and vertical forces sin theta are going to get cancelled. Or you can just say, when we add these dA cos theta part, I am going to get this projection area for hemisphere. That was the reason I have chosen hemisphere. Otherwise we would have taken this small element, and the small element we will be balancing the forces. So now I can say this force, which is since hemisphere is in equilibrium, this force which is acting on the material part of shell must be balanced by F electric. That is what I have written here, and now we know the value of it, because projection area part I am writing it as pi r square. So this is the overall force which is acting. Now we are very close to the answer. The stress developed, I can write this is going to be this force divided by this area of that cross section of hemisphere, which is 2 pi r2t. If I substitute these values, I am going to get this as the answer, which is a pretty clean answer here, and the method also is a pretty easy, straightforward method. So this is the answer for it. I hope you have enjoyed this problem, and if you have enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, share this with your other students and teachers, okay, and if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it. I will be bringing more such amazing problems in future. Thank you very much.